I will be posting that link to Twitter. Woo! Da 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 do no do do no. Okay, so we got the YouTube chat open over here. Live chat. Chat for YouTube. Okay.
Crafts with my
I was gonna say the mouse is like under the mic because of the way I've got this set up, which is fine because I don't click too much during these streams usually, but it's really loud to me right now. I'm gonna turn my monitor down.
And I'm clicking as well. So.
Yeah, okay. I'm also realizing I need to turn you up a little bit in OBS. So yeah, hello. I might turn you up in Discord a little bit. Although we had that weird problem where you were like clipping in Discord when I turned you up in Discord too much.
I might need to turn it down a little bit if that's happening again.
No, it's not. You're actually too quiet now.
Oh.
So I'm trying to... Yeah. Okay. Hopefully... I might turn myself down a little bit here so that way you and I end up closer in volume. But yeah. I've got you up to 176 in Discord.
Yeah, I'm not going to get much closer to my mic than, say, here. So,
yeah. Well, with the crafting, everybody's always kind of further away from their mics, you know.
Indeed.
So I'm going to turn myself down a little bit more. So I think we should end up at about the same volume. Welcome, Casada28.
Hello.
Did I remember to actually change my stream type? I did.
Whoa. Yeah, it's on art. Hooray.
Well, that's something at least.
You did it.
I did. I did it. Okay. Okay, boy. There's probably a thing I was supposed to be doing. I was supposed to be going on Twitter to tell people we're live. That was it.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing.
Welcome, Wyvern Slut. Yep. Okay, live now. Sketching some pinball playfields as I brainstorm for my Minecraft pinball machine layout. Okay.
www.
Oh yeah, I need to post the link. I'm like, why didn't I post this earlier? Because I
/Joe Hills.
Yes. Thank you. Welcome, Tricky. Okay, I'm turning you back up in my headphones so I can at least hear you.
Okie doke.
Okay.
Hello. Yes, I'm just about to post what I am doing on Twitter.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm going to be restoring an old what do we say this? Diorama.
Diorama. The most drama-est of dyers. I forgot that. I might want the abacus here. That comes in handy sometimes.
There we go. I have tweeted you.
Yay. Thank you.
Yeah, as before, the last stream that I joined you on, I'll be posting my updates on Twitter.
Ooh, I see one just rolled in now. I'll go ahead and post that. Badgers Project. And then I also need to go ahead and post that to, what do you say? Or I need to pull up the Discord Patreon chat. Welcome, Discord patrons. Morning, Gabe, Drew Baca, Kindless. Did I see the near exploding star image from Web a few weeks back? Yeah, that could be a very cool piece of art for the project. Right now, I'm trying to think more. What I want to do is I want to thumbnail some more single-level playfields and just kind of wrap my head a little bit more around the... I gotta kind of figure out the layout before I figure out the composition of the art. So... But that is definitely a cool image to reference. So thank you for, I saw that. Thank you for pointing that out, Mahis. Yep. So Badger, tell us a little bit about this. I'm going to see if I can copy this image. Okay, nope, that's just a Twitter.
Oh, I hate those. Yeah, it goes Twitter large or whatever it is.
Well, okay, yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
it apparently made a browser window.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, I'm not sure I love that.
Dangerous. Okay.
Uh, uh, okay.
That's really scary.
Yeah, I was
Huh.
trying to drag the window with
Yeah.
the, uh, dang it, and now it won't let me crop it. There it is.
Yeah.
I was like, I just really want this image. So this
Yeah.
diorama, you actually made
Mm-hmm.
this
Oh yeah.
yourself several years ago,
Yeah.
and you're extending it.
Yeah. I'm restoring it. On the sides, there's some white paint with black stripes
Mm-hmm.
that over the years has just kind of blended into each other. Because one is oil based, one was alcohol based.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just used what was there. So after a few years, they just started eating each other.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but basically, I've got some washi tape that is also in that picture,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's the perfect like Tim Burton esque stripes, I'm going to be sticking that on the sides instead, so that it
Ooh,
has that kind of stripe to it. So it's like very obviously Tim Burton style. Because
very.
yeah, it's as obvious. It's a Nightmare Before Christmas diorama, and I made everything by scratch, like everything from scratch, including the little pumpkins and the graveyard kind of scene.
So like the little graves are what are those clay,
The
cardboard?
graves are actually made of balsa wood and foam to
Ah.
make them stand up, and the little pumpkins are made of terracotta milliput, which is like a two-part epoxy
Mm.
clay for modeling. And yeah, I made those all by hand, and I made two of them light up with little grains of they're called grain of wheat lamps. They're like these tiny. This was basically before LEDs got really cheap,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't have them in orange, like in the kind that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And also at that point, the LEDs that they were selling needed an actual step like circuit to make them work. You couldn't just draw them straight from a battery, which is what I've done.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, this thing lights up still, and it's really adorable. Very, very cute, and I'll post a picture of that later.
Awesome. Well, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I did want to
Mhm.
thank Evan Netta. I haven't even posted the tip link yet, and Evan already tipped 4. So here we go. Get that on the abacus there. And we're going to do rotational tips today. Every dollar that rolls in, we're going to roll the camera for 1 degree angular. So there we go. We're now rotated slightly canted there. That's okay. That's okay. That's part of the fun. But yeah, Badger, that
Mhm.
looks amazing. I will post links to your Twitter updates as we
Mhm.
go.
Thank you,
Um,
Bet.
so thank you for joining me. Very last minute. Zombie Cleo sends her regrets. She had some last minute dental stuff that needed to be taken care of.
Yeah, bless
And
them.
yeah. So I found out about an hour ago. Um,
Yep, I found out about an hour ago as well.
so thank you very much for joining me on such short notice. Um,
It's all good.
yeah,
It's nice to hang out. So
it is.
yeah,
It was very fun hanging out last week. Uh,
yeah. Oh gosh, it already feels so long ago.
yeah, it on my end, I will say that like a 8 hour flight definitely will do that. Um,
Yeah, but the fact that it feels that long ago to me now as well, and
mhm,
I'm usually the one that has to travel. So
yeah. Was it easier not traveling? I'm assuming so.
weirdly, it was about the same for me, which is weird.
Hmm. Why do you think that is?
So I think because we did so much during that week, whereas usually if I was with you, I'd have a lot longer
Oh, that's true because they're
and
usually
we
month-long
wouldn't do so
visits.
much in one go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we basically have like one thing a day instead of trying to
Yeah, and I'd
cram
have at
5
least
things in
like
a day.
one or two rest days
Mm-hmm.
after the flight, so it'd be easier to adjust.
Yeah, we didn't really have a rest day.
No, no rest days for us.
No.
Carjul says, "Got Joe got roasted in the comedy club." Lol. Yes, he did, but it wasn't. It was. It was a good roasting, though. It
I,
wasn't a mean one.
I would say it was a gentle grilling. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if it was like I felt like Riolina was very gentle with the audience. I didn't feel like she
Yes.
was
No,
really,
Ria's also that.
because a roast would be more
Mm-hmm.
intense. I think maybe.
Whereas Ed Gamble was like, "Ha, Minecraft, huh? Ah, why did she speak to this guy for so long? I'll tell you why. But yeah, really frustrating when you're waiting to get on in the backstage."
Oh, but I didn't feel like that was a judgment on me. That was a
No, it wasn't a
judgment on my
judgment on you.
choices and
It was.
Riolina's choices.
Yeah. And oh yeah, guy that can make money out of Minecraft. What?
Yeah, but at the same time, like I think it's okay for us to appreciate that we have different talents and good
Mhm.
fortune. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed Ed Gamble's stand-up. I hadn't really seen much of his work in the
Uh-huh.
past, and didn't know who he
Yeah, I
was.
would say because we were at a new comedy night, I would say it wasn't like the best way to judge them in that kind of way if you've seen them for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we do end up going to Edinburgh,
Mm-hmm.
that would be a really cool thing to go and see.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of the people that you've seen at Old Rope.
Oh, definitely.
And
Yeah.
also, one thing I always loved about new comedy shows,
Mm-hmm.
like new material,
Mm-hmm.
was that if it went well there, you might see it in Edinburgh that year.
Mm-hmm.
Like you might see that entire joke that they played out and see how they finessed it, what they added to it, what they subtracted, all that kind of stuff, which is really cool.
Well, that's definitely something I really enjoy is seeing how things get tweaked
Hmm.
and like the process part of it. A
Yeah.
few notes from people saying, Pan Pie Pid says, I can't believe y'all met Ed Gamble. We didn't meet him.
Didn't
He
meet him.
performed on
He
stage.
performed a few meters in front of
We
us.
were on the second row. But so
And Joe
we
got mentioned by him, so that's a better claim to fame.
yeah. And then Evanetta says, Ed Gamble, my king. I love his Taskmaster season. Funny
Uh-huh.
coincidence, Lauren or Badger and I both just
Hmm.
started watching Taskmaster season one. Because
Yeah,
we,
with Romesh. Yeah.
yeah, because after seeing Ed Gamble and Ramesh at Old Rope, it's like, oh, what's something good they're in? Oh, okay, here's Taskmaster. A lot of people have recommended it to me, so we watched the
Yeah,
first
over the
episode.
years, everyone's like, you must watch this. You must watch this.
Yeah, and I didn't realize how much that the comedy or murder trivia party
Oh,
from
yeah,
Jackbox is just a direct ripoff of like the visual style.
it
Uh,
is. And the music as well.
It's yeah, the music and the visual style are a direct ripoff of Taskmaster. I had no idea. I thought that was
Yeah.
something clever they came up with. I was like, wow, this is one of the most out there
Yeah, it's
Jackbox
weird,
games.
isn't it? It never really occurred to me until we were watching it together. I was like, oh my god, it is because Taskmaster was literally around just before those games came out.
Oh yeah, 14 years
So,
ago or
yeah,
14 series ago. Do they do one
yeah,
series a year
that
or is
was
it
11 years ago.
11 years ago?
So yeah,
But yeah,
so yeah,
so
that Jackbox with that game that came out was definitely after Taskmaster started.
yeah. So I actually did buy the first season of Taskmaster on iTunes before we discovered that apparently they're available on YouTube for free.
Or at least they're available on YouTube for free in the UK at
Okay,
least.
yeah, that's the other thing is I might not have regionally. So I was
Because
gonna
they
say,
are available for free in the UK.
if you want to
So that's
enable my new Taskmaster
please
habit,
give
it's not a
us
habit
a link.
yet because I've only watched one episode. But
But
tips
there
are
are
welcome.
11 series of it.
Yeah,
So,
tips
you
are
know,
welcome via PayPal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. Sorry.
continue. It's
Mm.
all good.
Well, yeah, it's like
Yeah, I'm just dismantling this at the moment
mhm.
and I will post another picture in a minute.
Awesome.
But oh my gosh. It's amazing how much sun damage, even though it's indoors and not directly
Hmm.
like in sunlight,
Yeah.
just like through my curtains. It's amazing how much damage it can do.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, and especially if you weren't using like paints and stuff that were
Yeah, I
intended
wasn't.
for long-term projects, because when you were
It's
working on
mostly
this.
the black craft paper that I used,
Hmm.
and even though it was acid free,
Yeah.
it wasn't exactly like archival. Like
Yeah.
archival, you wouldn't put in the sun anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I've just undone everything, so that's fun.
Ooh. Saucefire says we do watch parties of Taskmaster on the Tartan Moose Cord. That's a
There you
Discord that I'm a part of. And
go.
that is good to know, Sauce. When and how frequently? Because I could get my betrothed a invite over there too. I'm pretty well connected. Uh, Chloe the Great and Powerful says black craft paper ages very poorly in my experience. Hey, GT Buckets, glad you could join us. Brum, brum, brum. Incurious says the Taskmaster YouTube channel has the first 12 series available for free outside the UK, and they're currently
Oh, it is
releasing
outside.
series 13.
Awesome.
13 and 14 are the only ones region locked at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, I know for a fact that iTunes will sell me seasons 13 and 14 if we catch up.
Yeah, they will.
Oh, Tricky says that where they live, the episodes show up on YouTube, but you have to pay for them. It's part of the YouTube paid
No, they're
rent.
free here.
Yeah, well, it's
That
geographic.
might be that country.
So.
Yeah. That might be whatever country you're in for that.
Okay. Saucefire says whenever there is a new series, they do the watch party for the new series. Okay, so when the new series launches. Yeah. If we're available, Sauce, we'd love to hang out. So yeah, John Coffee Robot, who organizes that, is one of the folks in the Penny Arcade Shadow Council group that we would be hanging out with at PAX next time you are able to attend one with me.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I just updated from that thread. There is now 2 new pictures on there.
Okay, I will go ahead and find that real quick, and I'll post a link in the chat. In the chat. That's where I'm posting all that. Oh wow, you've made quick work of popping that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually took the glass off just before we came on stream.
Yeah.
So because I didn't want it to be a horrible noise, basically.
Yeah, I was actually thinking
possibly accidentally hurt myself whilst doing that.
No.
I didn't want to do that on stream.
No.
I know I'm not on video, but still.
Sauce says, do you mind getting added on Discord? He usually pings people when they go up. In this context, I would find it acceptable. Usually, on my own server, I'm like, don't ping me. If you have a problem, post it to Modmail. But, yeah, for this sort of thing, I wouldn't mind if Coffee Robot let me know. I was more curious, if the episodes are released, every Wednesday at a certain time, or every whatever at a certain time, I just want to shuffle my schedule so I'm available. Because if he's like, I'm going live, or we're gonna have our Taskmaster watch party, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do a bonus stream. I'm like, well, I can't cancel my stream 15 minutes in because I found out Taskmaster was starting. So, yeah, but yeah, definitely keep me posted, Sauce. I would love to hang out for that. I forgot to mention, Saucefire is actually the organizer and dungeon master for Mercy Road, a charity stream, a 24-hour Dungeons and Dragons charity stream held annually benefiting Child's Play. Sauce runs 8 3-hour sessions, basically, I think. It comes out to about 8 3-hour sessions. There's a little bit of padding time in between. But basically, Sauce runs 8 different D&D games in 24 hours and has special guests. The guests rotate in and out, but Sauce is the dungeon master the entire 24 hours, which is absolutely bonkers. I'm going to be playing at 5 p.m. U.S. Central Time, which is 6 Eastern according to the flyer, but I don't understand Eastern Time. I don't live in Massachusetts or whatever. Hey, welcome Melody Rainpod. I'm excited that you got to a live stream too. Hello. Oh, good. I got an email here. My natural gas bill is ready. Great. On an unrelated note, tips are welcome via PayPal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. So.
Yeah, before I dismantle it more, I will plug this battery in and show you guys what the light up pumpkins do.
Ooh.
Turns out they light up.
You don't say! Marvel of marvels indeed! What will those fellas at General Electric think up next?
Talking of lights.
Who was talking of lights?
My previous tweet was look at the light damage that has happened. So there you go.
So you got another tweet up? I will
Yeah.
find and post that. What's the easiest way to actually do this? Clicking around. Very cool. I will post another Badger Progress tweet. Badger Progress 3.
Yeah.
Thank you again for filling in last minute for Cleo.
That's
Could not
cool.
make it.
I mean, like, I always have some kind of craft project I need to do that's just piled up. So this is actually great.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I always have like a bunch of creative stuff that it's like I should have started working on this days ago or weeks ago. So this is kind of like I should really be sketching these pinball machine layouts like all the time if I while I'm in my like brainstorming and research process. But realistically, I get to them when I get to them. Okay.
Right. I'm just starting on the tape now.
Yeah. So the way I've got these scaled, basically the shooter lane ends up being about 1/8 the width. Well, actually, that's going to be true in any case, but like since I'm basically doing these 8 blocks wide on the graph paper, so then it's easy to know that the apron center is going to be 1 block wide, 2 blocks up here, and the shooter lane's over here. So what we're going to do is this is going to be the Bond 60th by Keith Elwind. And hey, we just got a tip rolling in from Gabe. Thank you, Gabe, for the 5. I'm going to go ahead and rotate the camera another 5 degrees then. Bring us up to 9 degrees. Do.
Oh my god, this tape is amazing. It's so easy to use. Wow, I am now a washi tape convert.
Clem Meditation says, my friend has a button maker and is charging a small fee for buttons with images of my own choosing. I was thinking of finding some fun Joe images for pins. Is that allowed? It's only for personal use. Usually what I tell people, if they're like, I want to make something for myself or for my kid or whatever, is just tip $5 more than you would have otherwise. And we'll call that a personal license fee. It's not a formal license, but it makes you feel better, and I get an extra $5, which is more than I would make if you actually bought a set of buttons that I put out. If I put out a $15 button set, I'd be lucky to make
I apologize if there's any construction noise coming through. My windows are currently wide open.
Just a little bit of gentle buzz sawing, but not too bad.
Yeah, just gentle buzz saw.
Gentle buzz saw.
Yeah, I might go and shut the window in a minute.
Yeah, but it's not very loud. I'm sarcastic because it's gentle buzz saw is a funny way to put it, but it is a very gentle sound.
Hooray!
Probably me stepping on my chains. I'm just playing with the chains with my feet right now, which is super professional. I don't get to do that during the streams, but I'm like, now that there's a buzzsaw noise, I can just knead these chains with my feet.
Use this with impetus, yeah.
Hey, Clem Meditation! Thank you very much for tipping 5 in YouTube Super Chat. Boom! Enjoy those buttons.
First ever Super Chat.
Oh, I was gonna say, does it show you that? I was wondering if that was...
It was.
That's interesting. I've never seen that pop up before.
Your sister says outside a Badger's window, they're also crafting.
Oh, hey, Quinn. Yep, they're crafting a new home. When does a house become a home? Well, it seems like in your part of London, when they gut it every 3 years when it changes hands.
Yeah, and then it takes a year for them to gut it and rebuild it, and then it's half built when they move in. Yeah. And then they sell it again.
Woo.
Yay! Millionaires. They should be stopped.
If you're a millionaire, feel free to stop yourself by tipping at paypal.me/joehills
Spread
and
the
YouTube.
wealth, please.
Yeah.
Instead of causing suffering upon everyone.
Rather than purchasing a Victorian home that could have been 4 people's flats in London and converting it into one house and then gutting it
No,
every
I
3 years.
I do agree with keeping them as family homes.
Okay.
As in like a big, because they're usually like 4 or 5 bedroom and they're really hard to find in London.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we need more flats as well as those.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like lack of housing is a recurring issue
Major thing in London right now.
there. And
Especially with the railway projects that they're doing right now.
Yeah, that's been a problem in Tennessee here as well. So, yeah.
Yep.
You have my condolences, or you have my sympathies. I think yeah, it's not technically condolences because nobody's dead. But you have my sympathy.
Apart from my patience. My patience is dead, Joe.
Well, at least you're not a doctor. A doctor with dead patients is much more of a concern.
Yeah, that's a strike-offable offence.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
What does strike-offable mean? Like struck from the rules of the NHS? Like you're no longer...
struck from the register of being able to practice as a doctor. Legally.
Gotcha.
Yeah, being struck off is like a really bad thing here.
Gotcha. Cool.
Hello, childish Hambino. That is a very good name.
Mm-hmm.
And Quinn says only the pain trickles down. Yes.
Oh, actually, live, laugh, leave would be really funny. Because Kindless has posted an image that says a house becomes a home when you add the special touches, and it's just a huge sign that says leave above the front door. But I feel like live, laugh, leave would be better. Saucefire, no, that's not Quinn Murphy. That's my sister, Quinn Hills.
Yes.
Different Quinn. Live, laugh, come back with a warrant. Right, Saucefire? Okay. I need to get that on,
That should be on a welcome mat.
Yeah, I need that on my doorstop. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Live, laugh.
Come back with a warrant. Trademark Saucefire 2023.
Come back with... I'm trying to figure out the spacing of the lettering, like how big you could have it. Come back with a warrant. Live. Yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
Oh, boy.
Oop. Oh no.
Oh, we should get See, if I wasn't, so broke that I'm dipping into my retirement fund to hire an immigration attorney, I was gonna say we should hire our calligrapher friend to, we could commission the handwritten design and then have it printed. But no, that's that's
too much right now.
Yeah, that is not something, not a good use of limited resources. But yeah. But yeah, live, laugh, come back with a warrant. Of course, I've only got pencil out. I don't have, like, a marker or anything with a chiseled tip that I could actually try and do, like, fake faux brushwork with.
Okay. I'm just going to stand up and turn the big light on so I can actually see what I'm doing without my eyes strobing, which is great.
Yeah, that's
back.
Good thinking. Okay. Hello. Oh, bum.
The only acceptable time to have the big light on in ever.
Yeah.
Is doing craft work.
Woo. I would say, like, cleaning.
Oh yeah, cleaning is
another time that, like...
Yeah, but normal living.
Yeah. Nah. I'm really...
I like a table lamp.
Yeah. I feel like, and hopefully this is one of those quirks you find lovable about me. I mean, I'm really thinking. I don't want to use the words double down because that implies twice, right?
Uh-huh.
But you know how I've got like, I don't know, 20, 25 LED candles?
Mm-hmm.
I want to like cover all of my lighting needs outside of the studio stuff, which like obviously I need like LEDs and stuff for.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of thinking like, man, if I had like 5 or 6 times as many of those, I could just light the whole house
The
that
only
way.
problem is I also have that many candles, and I know they're going to be yours
Yeah,
as well. So
well,
they're going to
hours.
be in your house.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, that is a great idea. But the idea of the
The
battery
batteries is what kills me on
price,
it.
like, is the battery price cheaper than having, you know, small
Well,
table lamps
it's
and
not
stuff?
ecologically sound. What I was
No.
actually
And
thinking,
also, even like the really good rechargeable, like inner loops and stuff like that,
mhm.
those batteries, they don't work as well
Well, what
on
I was
those
actually,
candles.
yeah, well, what I was actually thinking is, because we know how much power each candle draws, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's,
Might have to hardwire them.
I was actually thinking of, yeah, rigging up, like a battery plug, like
Mm-hmm.
something that I could slot into the existing candles,
Yeah, especially
that,
that'd be pretty easy because it's such low voltage
yeah,
anyway.
basically, like, because I've got a
And
million AC/DC adapters lying around
mm-hmm.
anyway, and then,
Because it's
because
on
like,
average two or three 1.5 volts, isn't it? So,
yeah, some of them have four, some of the older
mm-hmm.
ones. But like in general, it would be relatively easy to set that up, at least
And
for like
even
the
if
clusters of them.
that's definitely not a potential fire hazard, Chloe. Like, there's loads of ways you can do that safely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's low voltage.
Very low voltage. You just need um, a way to step down the voltage, which is the only potential fire hazard out there. But there are some really easy ways to do that, like a DC adapter,
Yeah, yeah,
because
um,
DC adapters are really easy to work with.
yeah. Because that's the thing is, I wouldn't be dealing with the part of the. I wouldn't be dealing with the electrical part
No.
between the wall and the AC/DC adapter. The
Yep.
AC power is where things get fire
Get
hazardy.
dicey. Hmm.
But and even that, like if you know what you're doing, you can be relatively safe.
Yep.
Um,
Also, I have actual, although I don't have certificates in American electronics, but I do over here.
hey, Mini Cheese Mouse Tippin' Five says glad to have you back on the craft stream. Howdy, Badger. Woo.
Howdy!
So we're gonna rotate the camera now up to 19 degrees angular.
Wow, this is looking amazing already. Yeah,
Yay.
I'm so happy. As soon as I found this washi tape, I was like, this is perfect. I need this.
Yeah,
Maybe
let
I
me.
shall post another update because I think, like, I'm doing pretty well time wise out of this.
Yeah, live,
Yeah.
laugh. I'm just trying to see. I don't think come back with a warrant can fit on one line. I think because live and laugh is only 9 letters, even with the extra commas, you come back with live, laugh, come back. I think with needs to be on the same line there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come back with, and then a warrant on its own line. Yeah. Live, laugh, come back with a warrant.
Oh yeah, Badger and Cleo can now bond over their shared love of washi tape. Yep.
Is live, laugh, love like live period, laugh period, or is it live, comma, laugh, comma? I could look this
It
up.
depends. Where... Also, I think no, I've never seen it as an Oxford comma because there's no and. But I think yeah, it's just I don't think they put any punctuation in it.
Kindle suggests having come back in larger letters and then with a warrant in smaller, all on one line. You
Oh.
could make it look like you could make it look like, so for example, if you had like some sort of flowery, loopy, just decoration, like
Mm-hmm.
decoration loops above live laugh.
Yeah.
Live, laugh, come back, and then instead of having decorative loops at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
that parallel element is with a warrant, all one line.
Nice.
Live, laugh, come back.
Come back with
With
more.
a warrant.
Oops. Nearly stabbed myself with a scalpel.
Oh no.
That's great for me. It's fine. I wasn't practicing safe scalpel etiquette. Remember your safe scalpel etiquette, guys. Put your lid on when you're finished. Don't lay it down where you're just about to use a Sharpie to fill in some errors.
Oh no. Okay. So,
yeah, I posted an update on that thread.
that's good. I will find that real quick.
I'm well chuffed at this. Yay!
Yay.
Woo-hoo.
Oh wow, that washi tape really does. That is very suitable.
It really pops. It's
That
awesome.
really
And it's exactly what I was trying to go
uh-huh.
with the paint originally. So, hooray!
Yeah, I would think that that was like an original like part of the piece.
Mm-hmm. Yay!
So live.
Yeah, I only have one side left, and then I'll clean the glass and I'll stick some pumpkins back down and move things around a bit. Because I have craft moss in there, and unfortunately, sometimes when it's not treated too well, it releases spores. So the inside of the glass I have has got some kind of little spore kind of stuff going on. So it's a good time to clean that off and see what I can do with that.
Sky9 says, why is a potential warrant involved?
Why
Well,
not?
in the United States, we have kind of a tradition here. When approached by a federal agent, you say, come back with a warrant. Because it's
I mean, that's exactly the same in the UK. No one in the forces can like get into your house or property without a warrant.
Yeah, it's illegal to lie to a federal agent, and so you never want to talk to a federal agent without an attorney present. Because even if you haven't done anything wrong yet, if they can trick you into saying something that's a lie, or no matter how minor it is, you've now committed a federal crime, and now they can try to use that to flip you against
it's basically entrapment, and they're very good at it.
Yeah, it's like the most important part of their jobs.
Oh, was that already a thing, or was that Drew just doing something with that?
I think Trubach is using like a
Oh yeah, they're using
like
a generator.
Generator, yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, once again, that was Saucefire's joke. Saucefire is very funny. We'll be running the Mercy Road charity stream April 1st, 24 hours. It's noon to noon Eastern time. I will be on the 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central segment with Quinn Murphy and a few other guests. I'm not sure if they've been announced for that particular time slot, so I'm going to be careful what I say. Pum, 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 pum. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun.
In the great tradition of stepping into Cleo's shoes, my cat has come to play havoc on my crafting.
Oh, yay, cats.
Yeah, cats.
Okay. So, this is a Keith Elwin game, and like a lot of Keith Elwin games, one thing that's notable is that the slings are further back, which opens up more shots, but prevents you from post passing, which is where you bounce the ball off the post to the other flipper.
Childish Hambino says, as an Australian who probably has been fed bad info, surely the TV license is pretty much the same gig.
We don't have a TV license in the US.
In the UK, if you don't have a TV license, they have to come back with the police to get into your house to prove that you have a TV. They literally have no power to come into your house to do anything like that. And it's always been that way. Even the TV detector vans, like back in the day, when everything was analog and you could test, if people were using that frequency, they had to call the police in. But recently, like the last few years, a lot of people, the police are, as well as the other things that they are bad at, they have been told, they don't need to do this and that it's too low a priority for them.
Mm-hmm.
So most people without TV licenses are pretty okay without them.
Yeah, using this as a straight edge is not going well. Let's try something else. Yeah, that's easier.
Yeah. Terrible cabling.
I should really be doing this more fast and loose. Like, but part of it is it helps me wrap my head around it if I try to get the dimensions at least close to right. But
Evan Netta says, so if I use a VPN to make a BBC Player account, iPlayer account, and lie about having a TV license, am I endangering people? Definitely not. It's fine. That kind of international stuff at the moment really isn't being looked into in that way. Also, the idea of being able to prove that you're watching TV has changed so much because everyone has access to the phones, everyone has access to like a laptop and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
Most people don't have TVs anymore. So proving that, you use your phone to watch these things is incredibly difficult, especially in like a court of law. So basically the BBC haven't got a leg to stand on at the moment for that. Which is fine, because enough people are still, helping to fund the BBC. So that's good. I actually have a TV license because I know people that work for the BBC, and I would like to keep them in work because the government is constantly trying to shut the BBC down.
And I mean, there's enough free stuff out there, like the stuff that my friends and I make, that you can just enjoy it for free. If you want a tip, you can. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat, but we make the shows for free. Like, I kind of feel like if I can't afford something, I watch something else. Like,
Yeah.
I'm either willing to pay for it or I'm willing to walk away at this point. Because, like, especially with, like, I feel like there's all these movies where they're like, we're not going to put it in, we're not going to stream it where it's only in theaters. And I'm like, well, I don't really want to go to a movie theater, or I can't afford to because I have to pay a babysitter because my kid doesn't want to see this movie or it's not appropriate for her. It's just like, I'm not going to watch somebody's camcorder pirated version. I'll wait till it goes up on iTunes, or I'll pass on it entirely. Like,
yeah. And with iTunes, as long as you're not watching like the live broadcast, they don't care if you have a license or not at that point.
Oh, for the
they only warn you to have a license if you're watching the live streams.
Chloe the Great and Powerful Tip 7 says Minecraft YouTuber watching license. Oh, thank you, Chloe. The folks who do tip are making this show free for everyone else to enjoy guilt-free. Let's go ahead and rotate that camera another 7 degrees angular up to 26. Nola says, I borrow a lot of movies from the public library when they come out on DVD. Yeah, that's what we used to do when I was a kid, because we couldn't afford to go to the video store all the time.
Yeah.
But we like new things, and we were going to the library all the time anyway. The library had like a one video per family limit or something like
Oh
two.
wow.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like,
Hmm.
you could check out like 14 books though,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, we
so
did.
and we were going to the library every probably 5 days or less, like more
Hmm.
than once a week, but not always twice a week. So we could get
Hmm.
because I think it was something like they had a limit of like only the parents' accounts could get videos,
Hmm.
or you could check out kiddie videos on a kid's library card, but you couldn't check
Yeah.
out
But
like.
you had to have like an adult um take them out.
But like the thing is though, their video collection wasn't as big as their book collection, obviously,
Hmm.
and so it was kind of one of those like, um, you they didn't want to be like emptied out.
Yeah.
Um,
The next series, Mahi's is currently talking about
mhm.
how they wish that the BBC had a subscription service for international viewers. Basically, at this point, don't forget that Disney have bought part of the publishing rights to Doctor Who, so it's likely that although it might not be live, but it'll be on like the Disney streaming stuff pretty soon before like BBC Worldwide would.
Yeah, I usually just get my Doctor Who on iTunes, and then it goes
Yeah,
up the next day. But like
indeed.
that's a show, like with shows that I particularly enjoy, I'm happy to support that
Hmm.
particular show and send that economic signal like, hey, keep making this. Um
Indeed.
so let's see, that goes up and over there.
HBO is like months and months and months delay, unfortunately,
Oh, you don't have
because it's
HBO
not
at
on
all
HBO.
in the UK?
We technically do,
Uh-huh.
but people were saying that Doctor Who is also on HBO Max over in America.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, it's very very late. It's basically just whenever it gets cheap, they
Mhm.
buy it. And another thing that really annoys me with those kind of streaming services, especially, I don't know if it's the same as over in America because we don't usually watch things with subtitles.
Mhm.
But over here, I watch like everything with subtitles, or especially at like nighttime or if I'm watching with my family because my
Mhm.
dad is hard of hearing.
Mhm.
A lot of the streaming services don't seem to buy the subtitles track with them.
Oh?
If they're buying TV series, like if it's been on something else already,
Uh-huh.
like another streaming service like Netflix and places like that,
Yeah.
when they get sold off to somewhere else, they don't seem to buy the subtitles with them, and it's the most frustrating thing.
So did they just have worse in-house subtitles, or did they just have no
No, they don't
subtitles?
bother with subtitles at all, which
Oh,
I think should actually be
isn't that a
illegal.
legal requirement?
It isn't though. That's the problem.
Hmm.
In the UK, the laws haven't changed very much. Like, if it was live TV, it has to be 80% of all of your outgoings have to have subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas on streaming services, there is no requirement for those.
Gotcha.
And even like Sky, like Now TV and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
like half of the time they don't have subtitles, and it is awful.
Huh. Yeah.
Really, really awful, and it needs really needs fixing.
Yeah. Hmm.
Anyway, I'm done with my washi tape.
Oh, really?
So
Wow.
I'm just sitting here drinking my coffee, and I'm just about to start on the rest of it.
Nice. What other restoration work are you doing in addition to the washi tape?
I'm going to be sticking down the pumpkins a bit more, um, redoing some of the wiring that I made as well,
Mm-hmm.
because the electrical tape that I used had been leaching oil out basically, because that happens
Yeah.
after a few years with most electrical tapes. And then I'll clean the glass to get rid of those spores and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll be done.
Nice. Sounds like a
Yeah.
ambulance is going past too.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's one of the things that Discord doesn't filter out, I'm afraid.
No, no worries, no worries.
Although ironically, a bandsaw was absolutely fine.
Yeah, absolutely fine.
Yep. Yeah, I have just posted the update on my Twitter.
Gotcha. I will go ahead
All
and
the
pull
washi
that.
tape is done.
Twitter.com/BadgerSpanner.
Oh yeah, Mini Cheese Mouse says also, see also audio description. Yep. Audio description is even harder to come by than subtitles.
I'm really frustrated that YouTube got rid of the viewer-supported subtitles.
I used to love doing those for people.
Yeah.
I just used to, because I was always watching on subtitles anyway, if like names and things were wrong, I'd just pop in and like edit those out and there you go, sorted.
Yeah. Well, and that would be exactly the sort of stuff that, like, once you can work properly here.
Yeah. No, I would love to do that kind of stuff for your videos.
Yeah, because, like, I can't, or currently at least, afford a professional transcriptionist, and the AI is not there. I used to, when I was waiting for the bus at work, you used to be able to do the subtitles from your phone. I don't know if you still can when they removed the community tools. But I used to try, and while I was waiting for the bus, I would fix the first few minutes of every video. Because
Yeah.
statistically, people only watch the first 3 to 7 minutes of anything I make anyway. And it'd be like, okay, however far I get while I'm standing here at the bus stop, I'll fix the subtitles. Which is not a perfect system, but now that I'm not going to a day job, and my videos are like longer now,
Yeah.
so like doing the first 7 minutes is proportionally less of them.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Anyway, I'm just going to mute and get a drink and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be back in a minute.
No rush. Twitter.com/BadgerSpanner. I think the slash is one too many syllables. Bum, bum. Luigra says, some subtitles on YouTube are a rage topic for me. If I want to translate Hermitcraft videos, I have to reach out to Hermits directly, and that's bothersome. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is I don't have the capacity to supervise translation. Like, if somebody was like, hey, I want to translate your videos into Spanish, I might be able to verify that they were doing an okay job, but not really. For all I know, they're plugging into Google Translate and not actually translating it, right? So, but like I at least have like a few years of formal education in Spanish. I have a few years of formal education in Japanese, but still not enough to tell if a translation captures the poetry of what I'm doing. And honestly, if it doesn't, I don't want to host that translation myself, because at that point it's better to let the viewer interpret my English themselves. Like, having a professional translation like linked is a responsibility. It's me saying I believe that this captures the humor and the cadence of what I'm doing in a certain way, right? So, like, at that point, like, I really, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it with a degree of confidence I'd feel comfortable with. Fans translating stuff and posting it on their own websites or whatever, being like, oh, here's some fan subs of these Joe Hills things. That's not my problem, right? It's just if it was on my channel, that then I'm like putting a seal of approval on it and saying, this is how I intended this to sound in Spanish, or this is how I intended this to sound in Japanese. And I'm no Murakami. I can't translate from English to Japanese with any level of poetry. So, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like at that point, people are better off listening to, like, supporting local artists too. Like, I don't want to compete with Polish artists. I want people in Poland to support their community and their language, you know? Um, so that gets weird, like, because it's like, Joe, you're part Polish. Wouldn't you want your videos in Polish? It's like I would, but maybe I should do them myself at that point. Like I would want that to be collaborative. Um, like at that point, I would want somebody to maybe give me, like, I should get Polish. Uh, like I can do Japanese pronunciation and Spanish pronunciation. I can read aloud in other languages that I'm not necessarily capable of translating into. Because once you understand the phonetic rules of a language, if you're already good at reading aloud, you can do it. Like in my Spanish class, I had one of the worst comprehension talents of anybody there, but I was very good at reading aloud, so the professor or teacher always called on me. Well, she had a doctorate, yeah. Professora Tiras would always call on me to read long segments of text when we were like reading a story out loud. I would get called on to read it. Even though my comprehension of that story wouldn't be as good as a lot of the other students, I was very comfortable with the language and I had the pronunciation down. Um, you know, but like, yeah. I don't speak Polish, but my grandfather was Polish and on my mom's side. But that's the thing though, is like it would be, you know, rather than just being like, I'll let somebody for free Google translate this into Polish and then slap it on my YouTube as subtitles. Like, I'd rather work hard at my core competencies until I could afford to pay somebody to write a script for me to read in that language with like proper audio training or proper pronunciation training. Um, Luigra says, I found a few people who are interested in the idea of translating Hermitcraft videos into Ukrainian. Could be a cool side project someday. Yeah. If I could afford to pay someone to do that translation, I would want a professional translation. Even if there's somebody that's relatively inexperienced and still starting out, but like that's a job, right? That person should be compensated if they're going to have me read their script. Erdariel says, uh, I could offer to make Finnish translation subtitles for your videos and tell you I'm currently studying English at university with the intention on specializing in translation. And what would you have to verify I told you the truth, let alone the quality of the translation being up to your standards? I wouldn't. And Finno-Ugric languages like Finnish and Hungarian and Comedy Third Option are the hardest in a lot of ways to translate. That's one of the reasons Hungarian has such a brilliant local corpus in terms of writing, but a lot of other European countries don't necessarily have as much writing in their own languages. Um, but it's just a real headache to translate things into Hungarian or back into English easily or well. And I'm imagining Finnish, being the other Finno-Ugric language, is going to have similar concerns. Um,
Hello.
Hello, welcome back.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Now, I could only find Gorilla Glue,
Mm-hmm.
which has a 4-hour grip time. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to like show off the finished project
That's okay.
during this stream. So this will have to go and sit by itself and think about what it's done.
Yeah. People are
For
asking.
4 hours.
Sorry, isn't Corellis Polish? He
Yes,
is
he is.
Polish. He lives in Sweden, but he is Polish.
He is.
Sorry.
Hmm. What were you talking about, Corrales?
We're talking about languages and
Oh yeah,
translations and um
yeah. Corrales knows 3 languages.
like yeah, like well, but also like we were talking about like if I would be comfortable accepting fan submissions of translations into other languages,
Mm-hmm.
and basically me saying like I'd rather somebody watch a Portuguese speaking YouTuber at
Mm.
that point than have a translation into Portuguese that I'm not able to verify and back.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I
Like
had,
you would need a trusted friend to really help you out with that
because the
you would
thing is,
then
I don't
pay
want
and
somebody
stuff.
just mechanically plugging this into Google.
Yeah.
I want if the
You want them to
translation,
be an actual fluent speaker so they can pick up like the nuances
well,
and
and they
stuff like
also
that.
need to be kind of a poet and comedian. Like there's a difference
Hmm.
between translating technical instructions and translating
Yeah.
humor. And
Especially like poetry and stuff. You need them to have an idea of like what it means in English to actually translate it over.
yeah, basically they wouldn't like I've heard like Patrick Rothfuss and other authors talk about like working with their translation teams,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lot of effort
Yeah.
to convey the spirit of something through a translation. It would require someone with enough talent that it would be unfair for me not to pay them.
Mm-hmm.
Is basically how I feel about this.
Yeah.
And so yeah. Uh like
Kaufman said, I thought, as in Corrales, I thought he had moved to Sweden from Poland. Yes, that is true. He did.
yeah.
As a child, I think.
Yeah. So like for example, if it's if somebody wants to see more YouTube stuff in their language,
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest making it or finding people in your community and encouraging them to make it. Um,
Yeah.
like there's no reason that America should have a hegemony on Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's not an American game, you know. Like we Microsoft might have bought it, but
Yeah, it's still a Swedish game.
it's a Swedish game. It doesn't belong to the English language, right?
Yeah.
Like and it's like, oh, well, but those people aren't gonna make as good of videos. Well, maybe not at first. It took
Mm-hmm.
us 10 years to get to where we are, you know. But
Yeah.
like, if people aren't encouraged, if artists aren't encouraged locally to keep at it, they're not going to keep at
Mm-hmm.
it, you know. And
Yeah. And there are some pretty good like Spanish language video people coming out as well, and
mhm.
it's happening. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's a slower thing than people would expect.
yeah. But the other thing I was saying while you were gone is that
Mm-hmm.
to some degree, at the point where I'm paying somebody to do subtitled audio in another language, or sorry, subtitled text in another language,
Mm-hmm.
I would actually probably also just want to record. I would want to pay a vocal coach to teach me the phonetics of that language. So even if I
Mm-hmm.
don't exactly understand the translation,
Yeah.
if I have the original English script in front of me and I know what I'm supposed to be saying, and I
Mm-hmm.
have the training in how to talk in that language, like with Spanish, I have several years of Spanish training. I might
Yeah.
not be able to translate my own scripts into Spanish literally, but
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely pronounce the words without it being too embarrassing. Same thing for
Yeah.
Japanese. Um, and so, like, if I was going to do a Polish translation of my videos, at the point where I'm paying somebody to write a Polish translation, I should also pay a Polish speaking vocal coach to teach me how to pronounce those things,
Yeah.
and then have a Joe Hills in Polish audio track.
True.
Um, in fact,
Funny.
if I was going to pick one video to just hire a bunch of different people to translate into different
Mm-hmm.
languages, it would probably be the jumping on the mailbox video because that's relatively short. And there's a hopeful message,
Mm-hmm.
and but like that would be an interesting experiment to like just re-release that video or to re-release old videos like that because the old videos are shorter too in a new
Yeah.
language. But I don't know.
Right. I always forget real glass is quite heavier than the plastic. Funny that.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Yeah, lots of squeaking.
Quackity is launching a bilingual SMP later today. Oh, that's cool. Kindle says the video where I burned Jevon's diamonds would be good. Maybe. I'd have to rewatch that one. I'm not sure how much the rest of that, like that moment might be good, but I don't know if the whole video supports it. Joju says I would transcribe for Hebrew or translate for Hebrew. I couldn't reasonably offer it as a professional service, but I'd love the practice. Well, that's the thing is if you're doing it for practice, it's a fan project and it's for your benefit. If I'm using it on my channel, it's for my benefit and I need to pay you. And if you're not at the point where you should be paid for it, then I need to find somebody else to pay. So that's kind of the weird thing is like if y'all want to translate stuff for fun, translate whatever you want for fun.
Yeah.
But like if I start offering a translation from somebody here for free, and then that person has a busy week and they can't get to it for the next video, viewers are going to be like, what the heck? You normally have this in Portuguese, or you normally have this in Hebrew, or you normally have this in Ukrainian. How come you don't this week? It's like, well, that person does it for free and they're busy this week.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to start feeling obligated because they've created this.
That's no longer going to be like a project for them. It's going to be a job.
And a job should be paid. It's unsustainable. My videos have too many viewers to have me accepting free help like that. Like, help somebody where there would be fewer expectations, would be my advice. It's good practice for you and it's good for them, like if they're just starting out, but I'm in this awkward spot where I don't have enough money to hire all the people I want to hire, but I have enough viewers that expectations would be more professional, and it would be unfair to accept help like that for me.
Very much so.
Erdariel says, I know a bunch of people who work on an ongoing fan project of translating a Russian fantasy musical to English in a way that can be actually sung, and I'm in awe of their project and the skill it takes to do that. See, that's a great, fun fan project.
Yeah.
You know, they're not, but that's them doing it for them, separate from the original creators, right? Louis says, I knew a fan who had a separate from the creator channel with dub translations with permissions. I found that pretty cool. Once again, see, I wouldn't be comfortable giving permission unless I had the ability to verify the quality of the translation.
Yeah,
which,
and then pay for it.
And then pay for it, which I can't do. So that would, like, the seeking permission from me for that sort of thing would be a dead end.
But yeah, by all means, like, at that point, if you're going to do this as a project, like post it on Tumblr and like have that as an alternative thing like that. I don't mean Joe, I mean like anyone who wants to do that, but have that as the kind of transcription to read through while you're watching a video. That's great, but at this point it can't really be attached to YouTube.
No. And the thing with the YouTube having when they used to have viewer supplied subtitles, is it explicitly said like these are viewer supplied and may not be accurate. Whereas if I upload them now, they're not going to have that disclaimer. It would just say, "Hey, this person provided Portuguese subtitles."
Exactly.
And then it looks like a cash grab, or I'm lazy, or I don't. It's not okay if it's not good.
Funny.
But yeah, I want to encourage people to do translation projects like this, but like do it for fun, or do it in a way, do it as a collaboration with somebody who is at a comparable professional level to where you're at. In terms of, if you are completely an amateur at translating, you should find somebody who's doing completely amateur stuff to partner with. Because my stuff is, since this is now my full-time job, there's a level of professionalism that I have to, or I feel I have to
Mm-hmm.
guarantee. And so that there's a weird mismatch there.
Indeed.
Uh, but if you are interested in seeing me do stuff where I pay people,
Mm.
tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat.
Excellent, Secretary.
Thank you. I do what I can. Um,
Yeah, because of my lack of choice of glue,
mm-hmm.
I'm basically just sat here done. So
Oh,
I
nice.
polished my glass. But of course, I can't put everything together because of the glue stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all good. I managed to get rid of all the moss spores, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought that's a thing? But yeah, most of that, like the people that use this kind of moss, tend to be like railway model enthusiasts and people
Mm-hmm.
that have things out in the open that aren't closed up like this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was an unknown to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, so I'm looking at this Bond 60th playfield, and it's pretty sparse. There's not a ton going on in terms of like it looks like it's sorry, relatively straightforward to play. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
had the chance to actually play this one in real life yet because it's like $15,000 or $17,000.
Oh,
So
fun.
most people don't have one. It was definitely targeted toward the like Bond enthusiast, not just
Mm-hmm.
pinball players, because apparently Bond enthusiasts will spend a lot of money on like a James Bond Rolex or whatever.
Yeah, they do.
Um,
Bless the middle-aged white man fandom.
mhm.
It really is. Everyone kind of forgets that. And then they look down on like teenagers who have the same kind of interests with different things. And it's like,
Mhm.
you literally spent £1,000 on James Bond stuff.
Mhm.
So, yep, cool.
Yeah. So there's a spinner here.
It me.
Not a Badger spinner.
Oh, spinner,
A
not spanner.
spinner, like not a spanner, not a ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Lights there, there.
Yeah.
Actually, how does that work? Okay. So no light there.
Herb. I'm just going to mute for a second.
Sure, go for it. Material rights. Love the Nightmare Before Christmas Shadow Box. Yeah, Badger made that. I'm not sure how long the. I'll wait until Badger's not muted to ask how long it took the first time. This is a restoration
I made it about
now.
6 or 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And how long did it
And
take when you made it?
oh, not very long at all. The main waiting was just waiting for the milliput
Mm-hmm.
clay to dry, and that takes basically a day to cure. And then you have to paint on that and wait for that to paint to dry. So 2 days for all of the pumpkins together.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it was pretty easy. And the moon in the background is also in glow in the dark paint, so it lives behind like my bedside lamp. So
Mm-hmm.
when I turn my lamp off to go to bed, the moon shines.
Well, that's fun. So I'm looking at another new pinball game that came out recently that should be available to play at Texas Pinball Festival, which I am not going to. I'm not going to Texas Pinball Festival or to PAX this weekend, which normally I'd be really upset about, but I just got back from London, so I'm still feeling pretty good about traveling. Um, but yeah, this is also a single layer game, which means no ramps or upper play fields or anything. The Pulp Fiction game, but it's got sculpted Royale with cheese uh, on the playfield. Apparently that's, something people remember from the movie. Looks like
Yes, it definitely is.
Mark Ritchie designed this. Game rules by Josh Sharp. Manufactured by Chicago Gaming Company.
Nice.
Bum, bum, bum.
Just realised there's a cat behind me on my chair.
Oh
I was
no.
like, why was there movement? Ah, there is a cat.
I was gonna say, this is mostly a single level playfield. There is some sort of thing where the ball pops up and goes back into the back somehow. Not sure what's up with that. This is my first time looking at this playfield. I'll post a link to that if people are curious. If I consider slime launchers to introduce multiple levels, I don't want to do that. The way that this is going to work in Minecraft, single level layout is really where I want to be. Because that's kind of what I built the cabinet I was measuring off of was designed for a single level playfield game, Total Nuclear Annihilation.
Yay.
But
Do
yeah,
you miss it?
Yeah, I miss it too. But I don't have that kind of money. Let's see. So let's drag this image over here. As well. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So looks like it's got pretty straightforward orbit. It's got something. The briefcase boogie thing seems to pop the ball up. There's roll scene. I'm not sure about this pawn shop right in the middle here. Man, I haven't seen this movie in a long time. I'm trying to think what the pawn shop scene even was. I'm assuming there's a robbery in a pawn shop based on the fact that there's like a... No, that's not a robbery. I don't know. It's been a long time since I saw this movie.
I have just found my 50 favourite birds colouring book that you bought me for Christmas 2 years ago.
Oh.
And it's all of the American birds.
Yay.
Yay. So I think I'm going to colour one of these in.
Nice.
Oh, I found my COVID test in here as well.
Ooh.
Because that was when we had COVID.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, woohoo.
And that caused nothing but problems for the next 3 months, because then that was the week I was supposed to be planning my series for when Hermitcraft was on hiatus, and then I never caught up.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
At least we were allowed to go to PAX afterwards.
Yeah.
Because that was a thing.
Yeah, we almost missed our Philadelphia trip, but luckily we recovered from COVID.
By 2 days.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
The front of the pinball machine has in huge letters Ezekiel 25:17.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
That's, yep, definitely a thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna... Have a good time learning about Bones Puddle Slime. I don't think there's a good enough picture of the playfield here for me to actually draw this. I'm looking at it visually, and I'm not really getting a good idea of what this layout looks like. I was gonna say, I'm sure I'll see it at TPF. No, I won't. I won't be at Texas Pinball Festival, but I'm sure other people will take pictures of the game at TPF, and then it'll end up online where I can... So... I'm actually thinking, let's see, we've been going about 75 minutes. I'm kind of at like a natural stopping point, because I would, since I don't have a good image of this to work from, or like I don't have my head wrapped around it anyway. So yeah, I think we might wrap up here, and then I will be. There's no stream on Wednesday nights. Don't forget, but I do need to do some editing today, so
Fun
maybe
time.
there will be an episode later today. I need to record some voiceover work for that.
Yay.
Yeah, you know what? Is it weird if I record the voiceover stuff during the craft stream? I guess the mics are all set up weird, so it's probably not optimal.
You could do if you wanted to.
Yeah. Let me mentally
You could
work.
always have a what you call it, a hydration break for yourself
Yeah.
and sort that out whilst you're doing that.
I think what might make more sense would be to
Mm-hmm.
start a separate Minecraft stream later today.
Yeah,
Because I need
that would
to,
be cool.
I think I need to do about another hour worth of work for the outro and then record
Mm-hmm.
some voiceover stuff to bridge it. Because I've done the replay mod stuff and I've got most of the episode laid out. So
Yeah.
I think what we'll do is we'll cut the craft stream short and
Mm-hmm.
then Badger, do you want to maybe we could have lunch and watch Taskmaster, or more of a brunch because I didn't have breakfast. And
Yeah,
then
that
after
sounds
that,
good
I'll
to me.
come back in like an hour or two, probably two
Yeah, we can
hours,
do.
and do a Minecraft stream
Yeah,
to finish up recording for the episode. Okay,
it's
so
good to me.
that sounds like a plan because I'm actually also starving, and if I
Mm-hmm.
do a
Yeah, I was gonna
hydration
say
break,
like
shoving a sandwich in my mouth, I'll come back here and be like, well, now I'm sick. Uh, so
yeah,
yeah, okay.
fun times.
So this is a good plan. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
everybody for hanging out. Like I said, I'll
Yeah,
be
it was a fun
back.
stream. Thank you for inviting me, Joe.
I really appreciate you coming by. So I'll go ahead and post. I was gonna say I'll post your Twitter in case people haven't seen it already.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, I'll be back in 2 or more hours in order to um, wrap up production on this video because I'd really like to get this video out today, and
Yeah.
I'm close enough to finishing it that I think that's reasonable. So anyway, until next time, y'all. This is Joe Hills from Nashville. Oh yeah, wait. What was we do on the streams? When we wrap up the streams, we usually raid somebody, don't we? My
Yeah,
brain.
I was gonna say that would be useful.
Yeah, I was like, then we're just gonna. What? I feel like I'm like my brain is just not working. Why don't we raid
Yeah,
XP
you need to
Crafted?
eat.
Yeah, I know I need
Ooh.
to eat. That's part of why when I'm sitting here going like, what do I want to do next? If I really don't know what I need to do next,
You
and
just
I
need to
haven't
eat.
eaten in
Yeah.
the last like 16 hours, I probably need to eat. So yeah, we're gonna raid XP Crafted, who is playing on the Hermitcraft 9 server. I've seen that server before. When you get over there, our raid message is howdy y'all, Joe Hills right here. And until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Joined by BadgerSpanner. Any final words, Badger?
Keep adventuring.
Keep adventuring. Right now.